Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there.
Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody cares about you. He was tired, he have personal problem, family, nobody cares.
So I'm here to tell you, the first thing we gotta do is get you to care about your future, get you to care about your goals, get you to care about succeeding, get you to care.
Don't give a shit what people say. I never did, I never do. What people say does not matter to me, because whatever you do in life, good or bad, there's always going to be somebody.
The bottom line is, if I would have listened to the naysayers, my career would have ended when I was 15 years old. I would be still yodeling in Austria in the Alps. I just recommend to you very strongly, ignore the naysayers.
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. The problem is you, and you don't want to fix it.
You see this guy here staring back at you? Yeah? That's your toughest opponent. That's who you're going against. I believe that in boxing, and I do believe that in life, okay?
And don't let people who you may respect and who you believe know what they're talking about, don't let them tell you it can't be done, because often they will tell you it can't be done, and it's just because they don't have the courage to try.
In my early days, I would spend a very long time in front of a computer telling myself that I was working with very few minutes actually on task. And that's why I think that most things are actually significantly easier than people think they are. They just don't know how to try hard, because the harder that you try, the easier it gets. And so it's like, if you can just learn to love what trying hard feels like, then all of a sudden it becomes unreasonable that you can't win.
Keep pushing through things that suck. And I would love to say, like, keep pushing through adversity, but this isn't adversity. This is just things that suck. It's one level below adversity. Adversity is when you're having a challenge. This is just something that's gonna suck, and you're gonna have to push through it.
Like, it feels like hell. It feels like shit to do the thing, to fail, to not feel like anybody cares about you, to not even know that there's going to be glory in retrospect.
Yeah.
It feels despondent and destitute and sad and alone, and I get it.
The wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. It's that the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery, because there you find potential never realized. There you find dreams never pursued. There you find people allow themselves to be imprisoned by fear and living a small life.
What is life? What the f is your life? Are you happy with it? And if so, it's just the intake and outtake of breath that makes you put a smile on your face? That's something your fucking mother gave you. You haven't earned that. What have you done with your life to make it something else besides the normality of everybody else? The problem is, most people don't have a plan. And without a plan of your own life, you become the plan of someone else's life. You're not running the day. The day's running you.
If I'm in the woods, which is where you are right now, you're in the woods and you don't know where to go because the wife's not there anymore, the job's not there anymore, you don't know where to go right now. So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking, because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward.
A mediocre plan that's stuck to always outperforms an amazing and perfect plan that you never stick with to begin with. And I know this obviously from the fitness world, but it applies to everything. And so, like, the stick to it muscle is the one that you have to flex. And that's why, like, if you're going through things, you have, especially in the earlier days, like I remember I used to start and stop, and I try this thing, I try that thing. It's normal because you haven't been reinforced enough of sticking with something, right? But the thing is like, you have to stick it out long enough that you get that first carrot, you get that first cookie, and then all of a sudden, everything that you did to get there, you're like, oh, more of that will get me more cookies. And that's and then it just becomes this self-perpetuating cycle, and then you get addicted to work.
I was never great at anything. Like, as a kid, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the smartest, but I did know that I could work hard. I had to work hard.
The bigger the wall that you have to get through is, as soon as you get past that one big wall, you then can use that wall as the evidence for why you can jump over the next wall, because that will be the biggest one.
I'm still hard on myself. I know what I did. So whenever times get bad for me, people, I have a resume full of fucking motivation. That whenever I'm down, I'm like, oh, hang on. You know the truth. You know the truth. You know the darkness of the dungeons and the demons that fly. You know, and then from there, it's like, oh, okay.
Undeniable stack of proof.
That is proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid that I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection. It's proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief.
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
I just wanted this so bad that I told the universe, excuse me, this is my destiny. I know it. And you know what? Because of that belief system, it happened. But you know what gives me strength? The fact that I was able to squat here and go to the point where I couldn't do 5 more, and I got 5 more, and then got even 5 more. There's always 5 more. The fact that I could do that gave me so much strength in life. People need to realize that it's not gonna happen by chance. You have to make it happen. You have to will it to happen. You have to want it to happen more than anything in your life. And you're willing to give your life for it.
Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
What makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change, though. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter.
The only one that you have to fucking worry about is you yourself. Because it's about you. Are you willing to fucking accept the fact that you messed up and you have to fix this? You are the one that has to get up every day and look in the mirror and say, did I do right? Did I do wrong? How do I make myself better? Every day you can do 2 things. You can run and fucking hide, curl up in a ball and let the world just fucking beat you to death, or you can dig your fucking heels in. You figure out how to, you have to figure out yourself, and then you dig in and you fight.
Gotta do something, right? Try to save my fucking life. So that's what I'm doing, okay? No one else is gonna save my life.
At the end of the day, you have to live with you. Fuck everybody else and what their opinion is of you. You have to know who you are, and you have to be able to live with yourself.
When you're in your 20s or in your 30s or your 40s, you want to be paying attention to yourself. And the problem with people in the world today is you're not paying attention to yourself. And so you're always attuned to what other people like.
They just listen to yourself. Don't listen to anybody else. Not one person, because God forbid anything went wrong. You can't blame other people and start pointing the finger. Always know that you're only to blame yourself because you made that decision. And whatever you do in life, never regret it. Never if, buts, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Give everything while you can, when you can, and leave nothing behind.
All men are created equal. Some work harder in pre-season because it's not about where you come from. It's about heart. You come to a place where, being smart ain't enough. You gotta have heart.
At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You gotta answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step, so if I choose not to, that's on me. I gotta live with that.
Do we worry about external factors, or do we worry about what's inside of ourselves? Those 2 different things are the 2 measures of confidence: positive and negative confidence. And negative confidence is an egocentric person, bases all their performance trying to achieve third parties' agreeability, their likeness, their thumbs up, because we value their opinion. There's also another side, the positive side of confidence, starts from within. That's called pride. That doesn't value rain, sun, if there's someone in the corner looking at them, if it's 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, that pride is always awake, always turning, always burning for the ideology of greatness to be matured into reality. That's internal pride. No one can alter that. But if you're coming in here with an ego, because an ego person puts others first in their opinion second.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with, you have to have pride in yourself. That wakes you up. And now I'm not talking about bad pride. I'm the attention to detail for the human being I want to do. I call this thing, I want to be the standard. I made one for myself on how I want to be. And that is why if people can make up a mission statement, an ethos in which they want to live by, and every morning you wake up you hold yourself accountable to that mission, not a company's, your own. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
Nothing is easy. Nothing is free. If you want to be successful, you have to pay the price.
Always I say, I smile because I know exactly that every rep that I do, that every set that I do, every weight that I lift, I get one step closer to turning that vision of mine into reality and becoming that Mr. Universe.
The fish just don't jump in the boat. You better go out there and do it yourself. You know, don't wait around and wait for someone to hand deliver something. Go make it happen. You know, the fish don't just jump in the boat. If you want to go catch them, go catch them. You know, throw that line in the water and go do some work. And if it doesn't work that day, do it again the next day.
If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person.
When the excuses all go away and people can actually confront the fact that this is all because of me, and it hurts, but is also unbelievably empowering, because if these problems are because of me, then I'm capable of fixing these problems.
And that was when like the reality of the situation of like, there was no escape. There was no one who was going to come to save me. And I couldn't blame my dad. I couldn't blame my mom. I was the one who had chosen this life. No one cared that I was sleeping alone. I let them know I'm sleeping on the floor. And a month later, when you're still sleeping on the floor, everyone's like, don't care. Like, great. You're pursuing your dream, right?
If you want something bad enough, you can do it. If you want something bad enough, you can do it.
If I have unbelievable big dreams and big goals, then I have to go through hard times. It's like hate. The hard times are a requisite for success. And so if you're going through hard times right now, it means that you're on the path to success. And it's not that you're on the wrong path. It's the feeling of being on the right path.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Don't ask for security, ask for adventure.
Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you.
You gotta care, okay? You gotta care if we win or lose. You gotta care if we come in last place. You gotta care if I don't win a championship, I'm gonna be pissed off. You gotta care if you get divorced. You gotta care if you file bankruptcy. You gotta care if you don't get the 3.0 GPA you shooting for. You fill in your goals, you fill in your blanks, you fill in your dreams, you fill in your goals. And at the end of the day, let me tell you something, champ, you gotta care. Because if you don't care, guess what? It ain't gonna happen.
Throw that bag of Doritos away. Go do some push-ups. Go spend $12 at the hardware store and hang up a pull-up bar in your room and start doing pull-ups. And if you can't do one pull-up, hang on that bar. And you're gonna start to get a little bit stronger. You're gonna start to get a little bit healthier. You're gonna start to get more focused. And you're gonna start to be able to do a pull-up. And you're gonna start to eat healthy all the time. And you're gonna start to understand the world better. And you're gonna start to progress in every aspect of your life. And you'll see that if you have that kind of discipline right now, you're gonna end up with freedom. And if you don't have that kind of discipline, and you keep eating those Doritos, and you don't work hard, you're gonna end up shackled. A boss that you don't like, doing a job that you don't like to do, with sicknesses and diseases that you don't want, relying on people that you can't even count on, and you don't have to. If you have discipline, you will attain freedom.
Yeah. I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
The differential of somebody winning and losing has nothing to do with their genetics, has nothing to do with their potential. It's their perseverance, always showing up. A person that's willing to gamble it. If you show up, then you have a chance. If you don't show up, the outcome's simple. Never there, like an audition. If you show up to the audition, there's a chance you might get the part. If you're too scared to show up and you sit back at home, wondering what if and everything else, no one in hell is gonna call you an opportunity because you weren't present. The winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. Big mental thing there, guys.
Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. Want to do something. If you've chosen to do something, whatever it is, easy, hard. If you give it your all and you don't half-ass it, win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't get what you want, whatever the outcome is, if you don't half-ass it, at least you're not gonna have to wonder, oh, would the outcome have been different? What if I did give it my all?
We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. You know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been.
I think that the more you flex whatever that muscle is of like independent thinking, the more it becomes the default way that you think. And then everyone else's actions just start looking more and more insane to you. Just the most basic ones of like living the life that you don't want, not wearing what you want to wear, not dating who you want to date, the job, and every day you go there and you're like, I mean, it's okay. And the idea of just living an okay life just sounds so terrifying to me. The freedom to fail over and over again is still more fulfilling to me. At least it feels like it's real than walking through kind of on autopilot.
Is the best way to work out what is going to resonate, and it's the best way to act on it as well. If you can't stop thinking about it when you go to bed tonight, and you can't stop telling your friends about it in the morning, and you've clipped it from this podcast or any other podcast or any other book or whatever the thing is that you keep sending photos of and you keep on reciting to people and you try and tell your mum about it and she doesn't care, that is the thing that you need to work on.
So just go and do it, try, learn from it. You'll fail at some things, but that's a learning experience that you need so that you can take that on to the next experience.
It's an urge. Truth be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit. Don't you give up on your dream.
We joined because we believed. We stayed because we were committed. We left because we were disillusioned. But we came back because we were lost. Without a dream, we are nothing.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right? You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it. Now let me say this before I move forward, and I can't explain it, but you better feel me. Winners win and losers lose. If you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's gonna become a culture. And when you become a winner, they start seeing you with winners.
I've lost in kickboxing, I've lost in boxing, I've lost in life, I've lost in love, I've lost in family. Like, life is, you don't just win all the time, it's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches, but.
And I said, I learned that I don't let the highs and the lows affect me, because we're gonna have wins, we're gonna have losses. We're gonna have successes, we're gonna have failures. We're gonna have good nights, we're gonna have bad nights. We're gonna have good relationships, we're gonna have bad relationships. We're gonna have good ideas and bad ideas. We're gonna make money, we're gonna lose money. All these things are gonna happen. And if you oscillate emotionally up and down drastically, it's gonna be problematic. Don't get swayed too drastically in one direction or the other. You're gonna be okay.
Life has this cyclical nature where it's, what you do on Monday, it's fantastic, but then Tuesday is a bad day. But guess what? There's Wednesday. Yeah. So are we just supposed to live our lives like this the whole time? Versus just staying like this and understanding that it's really just a journey of evolution every day.
You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher.
Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got.
I love to put myself in uncomfortable situations to where I have to figure it out, I have to learn.
But when I put myself under that kind of pressure, that's when I do my best work. When I start feeling really uncomfortable, because that level of uncomfortableness drives me to do the work and be focused and learn my lines and break it down and understand the language and try and do something different and unique to what's been done before.
Am I stressed about something that I can control, or is it something that I cannot control at all?
And if you discover that it's something that you can't control, that you are getting stressed about, the best thing you can do is look at it, assess it, realize that you have no control over it whatsoever, and then not worry about it. Just say, okay, I'm good with it. I'm gonna move on. Focus on the things that you can do something about, and then what do? You attack those problems. When I get into a situation like that, oh, I think there might be a problem over here, it's causing me stress, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to attack it instead of being in a defensive mindset. Be in an offensive mindset. I mean, I'm not worried about what if I look funny, what if I say something bad. I'm not thinking that. Why? It goes back to preparation.
Confidence comes from preparation. You know, so when the game's on the line, I'm not asking myself to do something that I haven't done thousands of times before, right? So when I'm prepared, I know what I'm capable of doing, I know what I'm comfortable doing, and I know what I'm not comfortable doing. Right? And so in those moments, if it looks like I'm ice cold or not nervous, it's because I've done it thousands of times before. So it's one more time.
And what this boils down to is, do you have the discipline up front to be prepared for these situations that you're going into? Because if you slacked off and you didn't prepare properly, guess what? You're gonna be nervous. And you know what? You should be, because you didn't prepare properly. So what you should do is wake up early, know your material, train hard, study hard, be prepared for the situation that you're going into, and then there's no stress. There's just, quite honestly, fun.
Reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like. And this is why most people can't do it. But you can.
Hard work looks horrible. It's not motivating. It's not motivating at all. It ain't like Rocky round 14 where he gets knocked down and goes like this to Apollo Creed. It looks like a man being stuck in a fucking dungeon and there's no fucking way out. But you have the fucking key, but you refuse to use it. And that's nothing motivating about that.
Work your ass off. Nobody ever stumbled upon success by accident. I mean, you never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. I remember Muhammad Ali, one of my great heroes, had a great line in the 70s when he was asked, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't know, because I start counting only when it starts burning. You see, that's what makes you a champion.
Who am I? I am a champion. I will conquer what has not been conquered. I will believe what others have doubted. I have trained my mind and my body will follow. Who am I? I am a champion. I will acknowledge the fact that my opponents do not expect me to win. But I will never surrender. Weakness will not be in my heart. I will look to my comrades and to those who have brought me to this world and those who have trained me, and I will draw strength from them. Who am I? I am a champion.
You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions. You can't be paralyzed by fear of failure, or you will never push yourself. You keep pushing because you believe in yourself and in your vision. And you know that it is the right thing to do, and success will come, so don't be afraid to fail.
If you think back to all the negative situations you had, like the really, really bad ones, when you expand the time horizon, most times they become net wins. And so then it just means that, like, if you're in a really tough time right now, you just gotta wait. and then you'll get your reference point back on all the things that changed as a result, because most times when shit is bad, it can't get worse.
Those days when I'm tired or worn out or just basically sick of the grind, what do I do on those days? I go anyways. I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions.
We are making mistakes every day, even to today. We made stupid decisions almost every day. Nobody knows. We thought it's smart, but finally proved stupid. But we learn, we do again. We learn, we do again. That's the way. That's the life attitude.